Hello everyone and welcome to another high-elo game of Age of Empires. Today, Hunnic forces, upset at not being paid by their Roman taskmasters, begin their preparations to march on Roman territory to demand tribute, as GL.DauT, playing as the Romans in red, musters his forces to take on Capoch, playing as the Huns in blue. Now, while the players heard their herdables explore their immediate Isthmus surroundings, one of the cool new 11 maps that are part of the Red Bull Wololo tournament, and try to get their butts up to Castle Age because we started yet again on Empire Wars. A good time for us to take a look at the Civ matchup we'll be watching today. Now, the Romans are a civilization built around supporting their powerful, unique infantry unit, the Legionary, which replaces their two-handed swordsmen and champions, and not only comes with an attack bonus against other infantry units, but potentially a charge attack. Now, sprinkle in the second unique unit of the Romans, the Heavy Cavalry Centurion, and any nearby legionaries under its command will also move and attack faster. By the way, the Centurion, as well as the Roman Knightline units, also benefit from that upgrade that gives them a charge attack. Ooh, looking for a little bit of early game damage is our Roman. Let's see what he can get done here, although he is getting shoot away by this scout, as Capoch already begins discovering where his opponent is. Now, to back up their army on the field of battle, the Romans have one of the deadliest, if not the deadliest, scorpions in the game. Uh-oh, wait a second. Hold that thought. It's now Capoch's turn to be inside of his opponent. I know that sounded real dirty, but oh, exit to the north, taken away from him. And I see a little red dot. Oh, is he going to get trapped in here? It looks like he might get trapped in here. Spearman is moving forward. We're about to have a Hunnic sandwich. Ooh, who actually got the kill there? What do we think? Was it the spearman or the scout? Probably the spearman, right? Usually the horse's ass gets poked. No, yours truly is an idiot. It is not the spearman. It is the scout, who now, together with the spearman, in a very cool display of slow motion moving, is heading back to the front lines. Now, as I mentioned, the Roman Scorpion is a pretty badass unit. It costs a lot less gold than any other Scorpion. Their minimum range is reduced from 2 to 1, can be upgraded to fire faster, and it is the only Scorpion in the game to benefit from ballistics, which means it will find you, it will track you down, and it will put a bolt right through your head. Now, economically, Roman villagers do gather resources and build and repair structures 5% faster, which kind of helped GL.DauT here close in the exit, not only to the north, but to the south, which did allow him to get that one scout, the first kill of the game, by the way, and now he feels comfortable enough to move out. Will he get a second kill? He gets a second kill, and now the villagers are exposed. Speaking of these villagers, which are Hunnic villagers, oh, but Capoch replies and gets a scout on the other side of the map. Speaking of the Huns, a civilization that takes the fight to its enemies with ridiculous speed and mobility. Their cav archers become cheaper as the game goes on. Their trebs fire more accurately at units, and their stables work 20% faster than normal, which is great because the Huns can actually upgrade their stables to train their unique unit, the Tarkin. This is a medium cavalry unit with a lot of pierce armor that specializes in tearing down structures and causing general mayhem on the whole. Now, economically, the Huns don't need to build any houses, since if you take a look at the top of your screen where my mouse is circling, they start the game with 200 population space already available, which does free up a bit more wood to train those discounted cav archers. And we already have an archery range, although we are still in feudal, so no cav archers for now, just going up to lucky number 7 archer count, as the kill count is now 3 to 1. Somehow always manages to be something to 1. 3 to 1, 4 to 1, 5 to 1. Let's take a look at these bases, because our Roman, in true Roman fashion, has created a camp for himself, very closed off, very defense-oriented and protected here, whereas our Hun, absolutely zero interest in protecting against this. We've got a scout trying to get the hell out of here. I don't want to fight. I don't want to die, says this Freddie Mercury Bohemian Rhapsody scout. Mama, just killed a man. Just killed 2 men, potentially 3. Ooh, he's got to be careful, though. There are a few of these scout units that are ridiculously weak, and they're trying to run away again. What is going on in this game? Fix one bug, another pops out. It's like the old Greek Hydra myth. And now we got a villager as well. She was probably en route to build a dock, and instead, she is now on the dock along the river Styx with her coin ready to pay the ferryman to take her into Hades. And that's where that analogy is going to end, as our Hun presses in. This is a large army, but Our Roman is in Castle Age, has to evacuate one wood line, immediately places a second town center to the rear. Although this wood line's not very safe either. This one's not very safe either. So DauT prioritizing wood at the moment. Why the hell not? He's walled himself out of his primary gold. He walled himself out of a lot of resources, actually. And so for now, he is focusing very much on wood. In fact, focusing so much so on wood that he's got 0 villagers on gold, 0 villagers on stone. Capoch is going to be in Castle Age in about a minute and a half. By the way, we are on Isthmus. I'm going to take a very quick look at the map while the players, actually, they don't disengage. Never mind. Ooh, it looks like these archers were on move command for a second, so they get absolutely caught out here. A nice surprise for DauT, who manages to absolutely destroy almost the entire archer force of the Hun. We'll see if that has any kind of impact as Hunnic ships now begin patrolling the shores of the Isthmus. And Isthmus is, in fact, where we are. I believe the technical definition of Isthmus is a piece of thin land in between two bodies of water. And so a very well named map. Looks like another Roman dock attempted, another Roman dock denied. But our Roman in Castle Age has... Oh, that's so sour. What an absolute tease. That fire galley survives with 1 freaking HP. We've got palisade walls going up. We've got a knight shooing away light cavalry units here to the south. And we've got a very aggressive siege workshop, which our Hun sees immediately. And of course, he's going to punish it. There is no other villager moving forward. Okay, so a questionable forward move out here by our Roman, who, in all honesty, might want to be the one putting on the aggression here. I'm not too sure that all the super powerful, cool infantry features are going to come into play unless he mixes it in with some of those ballistics augmented scorpions, in which case that might be very problematic. Now that I'm thinking about it, that might be quite problematic for the Huns, actually, to deal with a big ball of humanity of infantry and siege, since their siege line is pretty damn pathetic. The Huns, they're not exactly a mechanical civilization. By that I mean not in terms of APM and micro and macro. I mean just machines. This is a very much human horse civilization. They don't even get onagers. They're just stuck in mangonel. So our Roman, actually, now that I think about it, might want to start sprinkling in some siege and infantry if he wants to. For now, not paying attention to yours truly, because of course he can't hear me across space and time. Looks like a ship down here. He has plopped 2 docks to the north, 1 dock to the south for our Hun. And the Roman now turns the tables. He is the one putting on the aggression, but his army count is 10 less than his opponent. His villager count is 5 less than his opponent. How is that possible? DauT has had 3 town centers for the longest time. Our Hun is just now going up to another town center. I mean, the Hun did kill 2 villagers. I guess when you add those 2 villagers back, the civilizations are on par. But again, I ask, why are they on par if one player has 3 town centers to the one of the other? In any event, we'll see. Capoch ahead in all metrics at this point. He might lose a dock here if DauT commits to this. Although with only, how many? 4 knights here? 3 knights. That dock is not going to take too much damage. And now we've got fire on the water as fire galleys, weak, take on fire ships, bit stronger, and shoo them away. Cavalry chase continues here to the desert, in the desert, to the west of the Hunnic settlement. We'll keep an eye on the water as more knights are moving forward. Let's see committed tenses. Let's see the Roman upgrade that gives them a charge attack, although I believe that is an Imperial Age and a very expensive upgrade. The Romans are a deceptively expensive civilization to upgrade. I'm not gonna lie. Committed tenses, as cool as it is, I mean, it makes sense that it's an expensive upgrade. It does a lot of things. Nightline units, legionaries, centurions, they all train 50% faster, and they all come with a 5 charge attack. And so it makes sense that it would be expensive, but you generally don't really think of an infantry civilization as being too damn expensive. But the Romans to upgrade, I think the centurion also is more expensive than a knight. Although we are nowhere close. Actually, wait a second. DauT, 350 stone. Looks like his water His entire fishing industry, his entire navy has been lamed. And now he's trying to bust into here. Is there a palisade in here? Yes, there is. So, okay. Okay, doesn't need the palisade. Capoch immediately plugs the leaky hole in the bucket here on both ends to the north as well. And now Capoch returning the favor. Home alones and traps these knights inside of his base. Oh, what a dish. Best served. 15 minutes later is this Hunnic revenge for that first kill of the game, that first scout that bit the dust. Monk looks like he wanted to get a relic. Maybe a conversion did die here as another town center. A third for the Hun, as a fourth is already up for the Roman, whose cavalry is taking very unnecessary damage here. These fire ships are not exactly the longest in range, although, okay, managing to get one is not bad at all. But I don't really think this is a fight our Roman needs to take, right? Unless he wants to contest the water, which, with one half-dead dock, I'm not too sure that he really does want to contest the water. At least the southern lake has been completely abandoned by our Roman. Although I say completely abandoned, I don't think he ever really set foot or dipped his oar, more correctly, into the southern lake. And look at the numbers. DauT as he's housed at 16 population less than his opponent. His army count is less than half the size of his opponent. His villager population, though, finally is bigger. 8 villagers more, but look at the Hunnic horde. Anything that can go onto a horse reminds me of that scene in Lord of the Rings in Helm's Deep, where they give all the little children and the old men axes and swords. Anyone who can ride is basically a member of the Hunnic horde here. And DauT is going to discover very soon that he is significantly outnumbered here. Loses 2 monks immediately. Upgrades for our Hun, by the way, are fantastic. +2/+1 on the archers, +1/+2 on the cav. Our Roman's stuck at +1/+1. Why over here? He wanted to place a castle here, but then the Hun showed up and took away the forward position. Why not right here? This is one thing that Hera, by the way, I really like about his game style when he plays defensive. He's not afraid to delete a farm or two. It sucks to lose the 60 wood. Don't get me wrong. Oh, especially when it's open like this. But I think maybe our Roman, instead of a flank castle, might have wanted to put maybe a defensive forward castle. In any event, we'll see what kind of damage our Hun can get as he's heading straight for this juicy wood line. Some Roman cavalry is chasing. They're finally going to have +2 armor. That being said, the Hunnic Knight is still much, much better at a +2/+2 to DauT's +1/+2. With cav archers here adding about as much damage as they can. I don't know how long the Roman can handle here. Okay, he deletes his lumber camp. He wants to close in on these cav archers, but he should have done that about 30 seconds ago. A centurion is out. What an amazing unit. Of course, I have to click the knight when I say centurion. I love this unit. It is just such a cool heavy cavalry, medium heavy cavalry unit. Let's put it like that. But again, like I said, the Roman's deceptively expensive to upgrade. This is a very expensive unit to upgrade. I think it costs like 2,000 resources to go from Centurion to Elite. And I mention that because our Roman, with a very risky location for going up in the forward town center, is actually going up to the next stage. And Capoch? Capoch retreats? Why did he retreat? There's no Roman army here. Something went boom. We'll have seen that in picture, but why did our Hun retreat here? Very, very interesting. What is he building behind this? Maybe he wants to gather a bit more army. Maybe he wants to build more infrastructure, cement his control over the water. He is still down here with 2 knights. What was the point of pulling back your entire army and leaving just 2 knights? Is it just to see what the Roman has? Did you sacrifice these 2? Tweedledee and Tweedledum? Just to see what kind of army you're dealing with. And now that you see there is no army, you move back in. But Roman Pike is out, and Capoch as well is heading to the next stage. His army count is a little bit misleading. Out of 43, 6 of it's on the water. So it's really 37 to 23. because, like I said, our Roman has apparently completely just abandoned the water. Town center firing on these cav archers. And they back away again, but mission accomplished. Town center has been stopped. Lots and lots of dead villagers. 15 dead villager kills to 3. The Roman is just not finding any kind of purchase here. Perhaps the castle should have gone down here if he wanted a flanking castle. No more villagers on stone for him, whereas Capoch, in firm control of the center, by the way, which comes with a few additional resource patches, is very much into his stone quarry mining. He's in that phase that every little kid gets into, where they collect rocks and they show everyone their rocks. My nephew always would come home with a rock in his hands. Look what I found. Look what I found. Soon these cav archers, by the way, are going to be 20% cheaper in 15 seconds, as now both players should be in Imperial by the time I finish this very dragged out sentence. Yep. Fire ships patrolling. Okay, I don't think our Roman wants to do anything on the water. He's going up to Cavalier. Okay, not an expensive upgrade, which is, I'm assuming why GL.DauT is getting it. He's now down villagers again, although nothing really too crazy, 132 to 133. But more importantly, look at the army counts and look at the upgrades. Cavalier as well for our Hun. Chemistry, Bracer, Plate Barding Armor, Parthian Tactics. He does not want to deal with any kind of pikemen here, and he does not want to deal with these trebuchets, so he is getting one of his own. Remember, Hunnic Trebs do fire 35% more accurately at targets, or rather, I should say at units. Not exactly the 100% stationary attack of the Warwolf Britain Treb, but 35% more accuracy is still pretty good, as another fire ship dies, and we've got a big cavalry battle here on the shores of the Isthmus. Blue is bringing in even his fire galleys to add as much damage as he possibly can. They are chasing in very far, and they are going after the Treb, it looks like. And our Roman just doesn't have the numbers. Another Treb off to the bottom left of our screen comes under attack. Cav archers peeling to the south. We'll see what, if anything, they can get done. And the Roman army count has been reset. He's at 10 to the 60 of his opponent. Capoch is at 200 population. Our Roman is struggling to get to 150. He's barely at 145. And now the Hun has an opportunity to do exactly what the Hun is designed to do. Basically, the exact same thing the Goth is designed to do. Overrun, except instead of on foot, overrun on horseback. Your opponent's base, multi-pronged, everywhere, everything, all at once. Although he backs away here. A little bit surprised he backed away. Could have gotten a few more villager kills here. Oh, but these are just basic cav archers, so they just have the 70 HP. Although 4 pierce armor is not bad. And now we've got 2 Hunnic Trebs. They're going after the town center. Might want to go after the monastery to lame the gold income. Halberdiers are trying to catch up. But with Parthian Tactics, the attack bonus against these Spearman line units is ridiculous. +4. And there's Heavy Cav Archer. I think that'll going to jump up to +6. Don't quote me on that, but I believe it jumps up to +6 now, the attack bonus. Bye-bye, Monk. Another one bites the dust. And now GL.DauT is a little bit lost, a little bit confused. He's training 3 halberdiers. He's got 800 food, 300 gold. Is he saving up for some kind of upgrade? Should he be training more Centurions? Here we go. Forget killing them from afar. Capoch wants to see their faces as they die, as he shoves in a whole bunch of Cavaliers into here. 12 Cavaliers for one side, 30 for the other. Although, wait a second. Numbers are about to even up a little bit. Will this guy survive? Yes, he does, as all the villagers garrison. And now the Treb is attacking the castle. Finally, Roman Trebs, 3 of them wake up. We'll see what 3 Roman Trebs can do against 2 Hunnic Trebs, as GL.DauT chooses this moment. Somebody in the comments asked recently, why do pro players not wall themselves? And Capoch replies by walling himself, and GL.DauT replies by showing why they generally don't. Oh man, this wall-off should have taken place a while ago. Let's see what's going on here. It looks like one of the Hunnic Trebs is down. He's now facing off against 4 Roman Trebs. I'm surprised he missed that with that additional accuracy. The flaming balls tell us he's got chemistry and not gonorrhea. Oh man, I'm gonna stop making that joke. Was I right about the +6, by the way? Oh my goodness. Yeah, look at that. +6 against spearman line units means these halberdiers with their 60 HP are absolutely going to melt under the face of the Hunnic aggression. But the Hun has been stopped to the north, it looks like. The Treb is down. Halberdiers now moving forward. It looks like that entire cavalry force may have disappeared here. Is that a paladin? Oh my goodness, unbeknownst. Unobserved by me, I do apologize. Our Hun now has paladins. And our Roman, he's getting ballistas. Why is he getting ballistas? He's got 2 scorpions. DauT's in trouble. He's just basically throwing whatever he can at the Hun at the moment. Light cavalry, basic ballistas, scorpions, I should say. And there's that accuracy of the Hunnic Treb as it lands 1, 2 balls in succession. But halberdiers are still here. Town center is down to the south to the castle Treb paladin combo. And I'm going to zoom out because we've got a big battlefield. Even more villagers are dying. Oh, what a disaster. Our Roman tried to turtle up Roman style against the Hun. And the Hun is showing us exactly why they don't give a damn about your turtle. They don't give a rat's butt if you try to enclose yourself. They'll just surround you. Now the fire galleys are attacking villagers. And this is not a map that you can really turtle on because look, he's got 1 forest remaining. And with that forest gone, I don't know that how long he's got life left in here. No wood means no farms. No farms means no food. No food means no heavy units. Although he did invest a good amount of food to upgrade his scorpions to to heavy scorpions. I don't know why I hiccuped there in the middle, and oh my goodness, that was just a foregone conclusion. Holy moly, the Hun just abusing DauT's defensive play in this game. Capoch just building up and overwhelming his opponent. There are some civilizations, when you give them an inch, they take a mile, and man, are the Huns like that. At the end of the day, we've got fully upgraded. Actually, yeah, fully upgraded. I always forget with the Huns that they missed the last archer armor upgrade. Fully upgraded Hunnic Cav archers, 94 kills. Actually, yeah, no, 94 kills on all these guys. Wow. And the Paladin, 42 kills on the Paladin. Oh my goodness. Look at the total kill count. Almost 200 more kills for our Hun. 88 villager kills to 19. And that's what happens. You maybe on a more open map where DauT could have expanded elsewhere. But when he lost control of Northern Lake, he never even vied for control of Southern Lake. And then you give the Hun the ability. Maybe our Roman thought that he was nice and safe and he could force choke point fights. But that did not happen. Look at the stream of units from our Huns. Here they're safe. 6 virgins ready to go into battle. Here we've got more streaming forward. Villagers returning home from repairing, I'm assuming, the trebuchet. All of the Roman trebs are down. Paladins are in, and he does not have the money. Like I said, upgrading Centurions to elite Centurions is very expensive. I think on the whole, it might cost... I want to say it's similar, but a bit more expensive gold-wise than the Paladin upgrade. Although I'm not too sure in total resources. I think it is less food. And so I'm not 100% sure, but it roughly, in terms of total resources, the same cost as going up to Paladin, which our Hun could afford because look at his resources and look at his map presence. He is literally everywhere. The only place he's not is on these islands mining additional stone, which he doesn't need because he's not really placing or training Tarkans. And he's taking control of the center, and I think it looks like he basically mined out the entire center's stone, and now there's a bit of extra gold here for him to get. But our Roman, oh, he didn't even finish mining the gold in his original starting position, and there's way too many villager kills. He's down. I mean, Capoch also, the villager count is pretty darn trash unit-ish, right? I mean, he's got a lot of army, and it is an expensive army, so that is a fantastic move out of our Hun. Usually when you're going paladins, you're going heavy cav archers, sure you want to have a lot more army, but to sustain losses, you need a lot of villagers working constantly, gathering resources, seeding farms, tearing down trees and shit. But because he noticed that his opponent wasn't really putting up any kind of resistance, he doesn't really need that much because he knows he's not going to lose these units out very often. These guys have 94 kills. The longevity, 3.5 kills a piece, or maybe just 3 kills. What is that? 81. Yeah, maybe just over 3 kills for each one of these. And the Scorpions, beautiful as they are, lie dead. What an absolute clinic on Hunnic aggression, and DauT, perhaps, like I said, playing a bit too defensive against it, even though he did try towards the end to penetrate here, and in the middle he tried to bust it. Actually, he did bust into here, and then he got trapped as revenge for what he did to that one scout over here. Ultimately, he just could not stop the flow of these ridiculous units. The Huns just doing what Huns do. 112 Halberdiers, 82 Paladins, 65 Cavaliers to 59. I mean, just look at the numbers and look at the units. This is fantastic. Halberdier, fully upgraded against a fully upgraded Paladin. Fine. Maybe the numbers here mean that there's going to be, what, 20 Paladins left, very badly injured? But with 59 Cav Archers killing, like I said, with the attack bonus of +6, killing any Spearman line unit in their path, and in sufficient quantity, I believe, to kill Scorpions immediately, even though they do come now with extra melee armor, which I guess helps against the Paladin. Yeah, DauT just didn't have the numbers, and he didn't, more than the quantity, he didn't have the quality. Why did he stop Centurions? Why did he tech switch to Scorpions? Maybe actually he listened to what I said in the beginning of the game of trying to create a death ball of infantry Scorpion to maybe try to contend with this. Although everything in Age of Empires always seems to have counters up the wazoo, so who knows what the right answer was for DauT. All we know is that he collapsed under the Hunnic pressure. Peak APM for both players, beginning of the game for red, end of the game for blue. Both kind of relaxed, low hundreds. The economy surprisingly similar. This is a big shock to me. I mean, this is by virtue of your villagers working 5% faster. The Romans, remember, they build, repair, and they also gather resources 5% faster, which explains, I guess, about 6 or 7% bigger economy, which is, again, still shocking to me, since the villager count was so low. But I guess with all the extra town centers that our Roman had compared to the Goth, it actually makes good sense. Conversion's not really playing a role. 14 buildings destroyed by our Hun, exactly the way the Hun is supposed to. There's some civilizations that, I mean, maybe I'm getting too poetic, too waxing, too artistic about it, but there are some civilizations like the Goths, whose infantry get progressive attack bonuses against buildings, or the Huns with the Tarkin. They're just designed, in my opinion, to just tear down everything that's being built. And so that is exactly what the Hun did, and DauT just absolutely overwhelmed, struggling. He's at 100 population to the maxed out soon population of his opponent, and like we saw earlier, struggling to even maintain 150 against the fully capped out Hun. Explains why DauT, just, even though it's a short distance to try to defend the south, try to defend the north, these are not long distances for his units to go, and he had a good amount of cavalry throughout the game. I mean, this is still 86 cavalry units. He just didn't have the numbers. And whenever he did engage, I mean, you're engaging Paladins into Cavaliers. You're not going to win that. Although, maybe a heavy Centurion would have been a little bit better. I think its HP is a little bit worse than a Paladin. I think it's a 155 to the 160, and they both have Bloodline. So it would have been 175 to 180, which is not the end of the world, but it also costs 85 gold, I believe, for a Centurion compared to the 75 of the Paladin. So DauT just kind of screwed on all fronts. Doesn't have the resources, doesn't have the map presence to get those resources, constricted inside his base. And Capoch, after an initial bit of back and forth between the players and losing those archers here, was a bit of a sour situation. He just takes control of the lake to the north, uncontested lake to the south. Although again, not again, but with 6, 5, I guess I could just look up here, 16 fishing ships is a decent sized fishing industry. He just absolutely overwhelms and does what the Huns do best, which is tear down the Romans. And with tearing down the Romans, it is Capoch, our Hun, who is victorious in a very aggressive, very fast matchup. But truly, as always, GG to both players. Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips and make sure to subscribe and enable notifications so that you're notified of my latest uploads.